Guys, hello. I've seen many people attempt to convert their matte monitors into glossy, shiny, vibrant beauties by either removing the matte coating by soaking it wet, peeling the matte coating along with the polarizer, destroying it completely, and then attempt to reapply it with insane issues, replacing the polarizer itself, 3M headlights coating, polishing it with turtle wax or polish itself with a buffing pad. But I wanted to make an all-in-one video that compares all these different methods, including clear coat, wax, polish, 3M headlights, polarizer with buffing, etc. All these different kind of methods, including my soaking method, which is no longer really relevant. Because initially the soaking method worked the best because you could actually just remove the whole matte coating altogether. However, manufacturers make it like 10 times more difficult now as they completely just spray the matte coating on, which scatters the light, diffuses it, makes it less sharp, makes it less vibrant, and it just makes it not as pleasant as it should be. Now, manufacturers claim that users want this, but that's clearly not true because look at mobile phones. They look pretty glossy to me. So what I'm mostly interested in this time is the 3M headlights that I've seen someone attempt, which I haven't attempted myself, including this polish and turtle wax and the clear coat itself, which sounds like a bit of an overkill, but the logic behind it makes sense to me because as I work with 3D processing, printing, etc., I know that, for example, if you want to get crystal clear prints with resin printing, to make it crystal clear, you apply this. And same goes with plastics that gone hazy. You recover the plastic with clear coats. So I'm wondering, would that actually work? And as you can see, I got a lot of monitors here. So I've got a gloss LG TV, which I love, and that's the way a monitor should be in my opinion. Call it a monitor, call it a TV, call it whatever you want. It's a display that is amazing, and all displays should be like this. And this is an OLED, so it's my dream. This is a monitor that I peeled off the matte coating itself, and that worked brilliantly. These two LG monitors, they cannot have the matte coating removed because they're sprayed on. So we're gonna have to attempt either this or this, but after I establish what works the best. I'm not gonna sacrifice them because I love those two monitors. However, I do have these two spares, and this is a kind of broken monitor, so I can do the crazy stuff on this one. So let's go from there. So I'm gonna start out with something that's quite easy. And now I've done my best to clear it, and but I still can't help get the dust on it. So I'm gonna split it into 3 different sections. And I'm not being too accurate because this is an experiment. So I'm not expecting brilliant results first time, so I'm just estimating the distances. So one side I'm gonna do it with polish, another with wax, and then I'm gonna compare which one looks most reflective and displays the best. So I'm gonna do this with this and my drill, and you can see it's just gonna buff it basically. So we've got the turtle wax. Let's start off with the turtle wax. So we've got it here, and I'll get a kitchen towel. You can just apply it onto this, let's say, or even the base itself. There we go. And I suppose we just start rubbing. Oh, maybe need to do that. Hey, I'm not talking about professionalism, so this isn't sealed. So guys, I'm not saying you should try this, by the way. I'm just doing this YOLO, you know. This area does seem a bit glossier. So this is a bit of a slow and drastic method, but we are going to get to much more effective results via different methods. But for the sake of experimentation and see what happens, we are experimenting and we're going to see what happens. Well, it is an improvement. That is an improvement, yeah. I think it takes quite a lot of patience though, I think, this, but not a crazy improvement. Now keep in mind, I am just improvising all this, so do I want to keep it like that? Let's just have a quick look from the side, but obviously we've got some fluff on the center in here. And can it be cleaned? This is another thing that you want to consider. Can we clean it after? See if I can try to be fair and use a different brand new sponge brush buffing pad, that's right. think that's the right term. So that was the turtle wax, this side. And what we're gonna do now is Auto Glym Super Resin Polish. A resin polish. So here we go. Oh. I should have shaken it first. Let's read this first. Like that instead, so I can hold it. I'm gonna repeat this quite. I want to do it for like 10 minutes at least. So we're done around 5 minutes. I think that's enough, and I'm not seeing much results here actually with this resin. Oh wow, what the fuck? Oh, we generated quite a bit of heat. Oh, I didn't realize. Wow. Wow. That's interesting. Crazy. I think I'm actually going to go back to doing the turtle wax using this method for 5 minutes, and I want to see what happens. This polished resin, I don't feel like it does much compared to the turtle wax. The turtle wax was much more prominent with just like a minute or two. Yeah, they generated a lot of heat for 5 minutes. Okay, so I cleaned it up, put labels on. I want to go back to the turtle wax because I'm getting some good results with that. But for 5 minutes straight, when we were using the polish, we weren't getting nothing. So I'm going to change back from this to a brand new one. I'm going to repeat the same technique basically. Attempt to rub it on for 5 minutes. Obviously I'm going to have some increments where I need to catch my breath, catch my grip, etc. Some on here, and I'm gonna dab it onto the, like that, so it's like there, and then we can press start and just go. It probably generated a bunch of heat again. But it's very apparent that turtle wax is much more better at creating a glossiness rather than the polished resin. So clearly the turtle wax, which is this, is much better. This is like nothing. This is default. But we can just see by the way the light reflects that the turtle wax is clearly the best. But either way, all of these are very, very minor changes. So this is the overall result of using the turtle wax and the buffing. Ended up cracking the screen. Well done, Tom. So yeah, I'm not too surprised that I've done this because I did apply a lot of, I wouldn't say force, but it is quite an enduring procedure, isn't it? I mean, yeah, for 5 minutes straight, buffing it, and with minimal results, yeah, that turtle wax is just not worth it. So yeah, in the bin this monitor goes, sadly. But just for the sake of documentation, this is how far I got, and you can actually see the lines where the tape was. I ended up doing around 5 more minutes on the whole panel with the turtle wax, and ended up cracking it apparently. So yeah, really not worth using the turtle wax and the buffing method because it's too destructive, to be honest. I mean, if you go any softer, you won't really get any result at all, so really pointless. Okay, so we're outside and we've got some good sun here, actually. But before we actually spray the clear coat, I want to make sure I get all the dust off, because inside I just have like an infinite amount of dust. Okay, so I've done my best to remove all the dust. I don't think I can remove it any further. I don't know why, even though I'm outside, there shouldn't be that much dust out here. But like I said, this is a spare monitor, so we can at least see if anything works or not. If it does, that's good. Besides, when the monitor is on, you don't even see the dust anyway. Okay, I don't think kitchen roll is working. I mean, the window cleaner is good, but kitchen roll not so good. So I've got these wipes that come with like with phone cases. So let's try them out. So they got isopropyl alcohol in them. Yeah, but like wet wipes. Try them. But I don't know if it collects dust. Can try some wet wipes out. Andrex aloe enriched. Okay. Oh man, this fucking can. For God's sake, what are the chances, man? What the fucking chances? So I got some brand new cans of crystal clear coat, and we just cleaned down this monitor, and it's got zero dust in an environment that has almost no dust. And we got a well-lit environment as well, so we can see things clearly, and we're going to be able to see every layer that we put down. Now, disclaimer, I'm not wearing a mask, which is a very, very stupid move to do, but I just had to do what I had to do, basically. So just keep watching, and you'll see all the struggle that I'm going through. And yeah, so the first coat was actually the most difficult, because it actually took me around 5 minutes to get any form of consistency. That is the biggest, most challenging factor about spraying gloss on, is the consistency. But as you will see, I was on the brink of actually giving up with this first coat, but actually after you lay down more coats, up to around 4 or 5, it actually becomes very, very presentable. I'm actually using one of these monitors, and I decided to leave it glossed with the spray coat, just to see how I get on with it, because I have quite a few different work environments, so it doesn't hurt for me to experiment different kinds of finishes and see how I feel about them. Okay, so 3 hours have passed, so we got a coat one that is fine. So I thought, you know what, it doesn't hurt to give it a second coat to see if we have any improvement at all before I decide to scrap this idea and move on to peeling off the layer. So let's give it a try. By the way, I'm not using a mask. This is not ideal, so don't copy me. This is just an experiment. I mean, it's a hell of an improvement from the first layer, but it's still, it's just, it's too hard to do it if you're an unprofessional sprayer, really, to get it even. So that's just shit, ain't it? Yeah, but you know what? It doesn't hurt to give it a second go. On my side, at least. Not for you guys. I'm sure viewing it from this angle, it seems a little bit better, but it's just not worth it. It's just a bit silly. Okay, actually, a bit of development. I gave it like half an hour, and it's starting to blend really nicely. You know what? I might just give it another coat after another 3 hours and see what happens, because if you just don't touch it, I think it starts to even out very nicely. Got a little bit of a speck there. I'm just gonna ignore that. But maybe with time it does even out. Let's just see what happens. Let's just not hold our breaths. So I'm quite shocked actually. After waiting, it cures much better. So I'm gonna do a third and hopefully final coat to see just how good we can get it. To be honest, I think this is gonna be even better than the 3M wipes actually, because the wipes do leave some streaks. So what I've done differently this time is I've done a longer burst on each stroke. Instead of doing one stroke quick and then another one, I've done a short stroke that delivers more. So we can see the lines at the moment, but that should clear up. It's been around 3 hours and you can still see the streaking. Maybe because the long burst, short action and long burst is not a good idea. Maybe the quick passes are much better and then repeat it. Because it looked good before this coating and now it's got worse, I think. But let's give it another 2 hours before I decide if I want to do another coat or not, because I'm getting a bit bored of this monitor now. Screw it, let's try the 4th layer, but this time we're going to do what we've done on the second coat, which is short, fast motion and short sprays, but we repeat it. Let's just get a close up. It's too bumpy. Look how bumpy it is in the reflection. That really defeats the purpose of the idea that we're trying to go for, which is filling in all the gaps created by the matte coating, which it didn't do. It just created like a bumpy mountain basically. So no, it doesn't do what we intended it to do. It's glossy, but it's bumpy. Good. I mean, sure, we could spray a few more layers, but it's just going over the top. I think the 3M headlight method is much easier actually once we understand how to do it. Okay, so in a dark environment, to be honest, how do I feel? I like it, but it doesn't look any different from the matte coating now. No, I still think I prefer the 3M quick headlights method over the spraying. Besides, the spraying method is very intense, especially if you've got a very concealed, confined space. The spraying goes everywhere, so yeah. So it's the next day and we can compare the two side by side. Now clearly this one has been sprayed with gloss, however it looks bumpy, and obviously we've got the dust specks, so obviously this is with the monitors off, and yeah, sure, it looks shiny and more even than the 3M headlight method. However, I think if we improved upon the headlight method in terms of overlapping and how quick we work, we could improve upon this, because the bumpiness I don't think is acceptable. But yeah, this is the matte one and this is the gloss one. So yeah, this is fully dry and it's good to go, good for use. Looks a bit of streaking when you touch it, but that's irrelevant. That could be wiped off with a kitchen towel now, because it's been quite a long time now. Okay, so side by side, sure, this one's glossy, but how do I feel about it? I don't think it's a superior image compared to the 3M headlight method, because it's bumpy. The point of this gloss method is to keep it like one smooth coat, but this doesn't improve upon that. That just doesn't look better. So yeah, although the spraying is even, I am not happy with the outcome. I'll leave this one as like that, as a way to see how I feel about it after a week or two or a month. But I don't think it's as nice as the 3M quick headlights method. So since I know I screwed this monitor up, the BenQ one, in terms of the spray gloss, and that was because of the spray can. That was a dodgy spray can, and obviously I couldn't do this properly. So what I'm going to do is, instead of, I thought there's two things I could do. I could either attempt to sand down what I sprayed, but to be honest, I think that's a bit too risky. I think I'll end up cracking the screen or getting the connectors too wet. So I thought instead I'm going to show you the typical method for removing the matte coating by using hot water and kitchen roll. And we're going to soak it for around 3 to 4 hours. Because to be honest, I don't want to waste this monitor. So that's why I'm just going to do this. Because I could attempt to sand down what I sprayed, but that would just be an attempt. I don't think I would have success in that. And I poured hot water into the spray bottle, so now we just spray it on top of it. Very important thing, this doesn't work with all monitors, especially the LG Ultrawides, but this is a BenQ monitor. This is on the cheaper side, which is why I'm expecting the matte coating not to be sprayed on, and rather a layer that has been stuck on. And so I'm pretty sure it's removable, which is why I'm going to try it. Okay, so it's been around 3 hours. We can actually take off this wet kitchen roll. And we can attempt to do a peel. So this is wet. Come on, shut now. So, normally, as I mentioned, you want to try grab it from the very corner with some X-Acto knives. I've got more in-depth videos rather than this. But you need to make sure that you're grabbing the clear coat, because the top layer is sometimes compromised of the polarizer as well, and the polarizer is required for you to be actually able to see the image, and it's actually darker than the clear coat, and it's thicker. So if you're struggling to peel it off, it's probably because you're peeling the polarizer. But I'm not struggling, because this is one of the cheaper monitors, and you can see it just comes right off and it's clear, so that means there's no polarizer. If you can't do this, it's either because you didn't soak it for long enough, or it's because the polarizer or it's because you're peeling the polarizer. But I know that this is the matte diffusion layer, and we are getting a very nice peel. But this isn't going to be it actually, because this layer that we are revealing is going to have to be wiped, because it's going to be left with a sticky residue. So thank God that we can actually peel this off, because remember, I fucked up with the clear coat spray gloss. Okay, so we've got this dodgy coat off. We want to give this a wipe down with isopropyl alcohol, because there's going to be leftover stickiness. So actually, I'm not going to use isopropyl alcohol. I'll just use a window cleaner and a kitchen roll and see what happens. And you can see the streaks straight away, because that means that is the glue that was holding the coating in place. See how much streaking there is straight away. But not to worry, that's going to come off, no problem. Actually, I might switch to IPA, and the IPA is isopropyl alcohol. And that should remove this glue layer quicker, I believe. Maybe not. Okay. See, this bit takes a while, so although we had to wait around 3 hours for the water to soak in, once it actually comes off, it comes off pretty quick. But removing this glue layer is quite annoying. What about if we use some fairy soap liquid? You can see I'm still experimenting to this day because I hate matte monitors. Nah, I don't think fairy liquid does any better job, so I think I'm just going to stick with the kitchen roll. And I'll shut up now, so you can just watch speed the animation of this. Okay, so since I completely messed up on the clear coat with the BenQ monitor, it's time to attempt this on the LG ultra-wide curved monitor that is in my studio. Now I have quite a few ultra-wides of LG. I have one here, I have one in the bedroom, and I have it at another workplace. And I do love the ultra-wides, but I hate the matte coating. They are not as sharp as glossy monitors, so let's see if we can tackle this one. We're gonna do the 3M quick headlight clear coat. Now I've got a feeling this is a form of resin, so let's have a read through the contains water, polyurethane polymer. Well, polyurethane is a form of clear coat, so it's the same kind of thing as a gloss spray paint. Before we actually put it on, I want to make sure there's not a speck of dust on this, so let's get my kitchen rolls and get my window cleaner. And I'm not doing this outside because this is much more localized, and since I'm using kitchen roll, it keeps giving me specks of dust, which is not good. I don't want any specks of dust. Maybe I should get a microfiber cloth, but you know what I find with microfiber cloths, it actually still give me dust. Okay, so I think in the kitchen it's much easier to actually get rid of any specks of dust. Actually, I can see some more because I kept on stepping over it, so do it one more time. Okay, so I'm gonna wear some gloves, as I do believe this is a form of clear coat. Not sure if it's a resin, but it does say it's polyurethane, and I have some polyurethane, and a lot of polyurethane is yellow, but I hope this doesn't. So let's see what happens with this. And I'm gonna use a squeegee, and apparently you wait 10 minutes between each coat. Now it doesn't smell like anything really, and I'm not gonna unfold it. I'm gonna place it in one corner. And just use a squeegee to do that. But what I am going to do is I'm going to fold it the other way around. Now you can see the overlap pretty well actually, and that is not good. It doesn't look nice at all. And I'm gonna fold it to an unused area, slightly overlapping. Yeah, so I'm wondering if the overlaps are gonna merge. Because you can clearly see the line. So unfold it, fold it again, and fold it to an unused area, because obviously this is a kind of liquid inside, I believe. And I'm trying to make it go over. It's hard to tell which side I used, which side I haven't used. Pretty sure I haven't used these sides. So let's continue. Yeah, what I'm concerned about is this area. And yeah, that looks great and glossy for now, but I can see major streaking. So I'm gonna throw this away straight away because I want to use a fresh one after like 10 minutes. And we'll see what happens. Can reuse the gloves after. But I mean, yeah, sure, it looks shiny now, but the trick will be to see how it is after it cures. So we can clearly see the streak marks there, and here is a major issue. So let's see how it cures. So this time I'm gonna overlap like half, and you can see that I flipped the monitor around as well. It's kind of hard to not lose track of where you are actually. Actually, it's fine because you can see where it's shinier versus where it's not. Oh, that does not look good at all. That looks bad. Did I not wait long enough? Is it not cured fully? I'm gonna apply less pressure because maybe I'm using too much pressure. Gentle pressure instead, because that does not look good what I did here. I think that wasn't fully cured. That does not look good. What happened here? Jeez. Oh shit. I need to wait longer than 10 minutes. That is not good. Oh my god. What is this? This is fucked. It's because this area didn't cure. Man, what the fuck? I'm gonna attempt to just remove it with isopropyl alcohol. Just mixing chemicals now, aren't I? Oh, the fuck am I doing? Oh, it's coming off. Good, 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 good. So this is isopropyl alcohol. So guys, 10 minutes is not enough. And if you fuck up, you can remove it. If you're quick, this is isopropyl alcohol I'm using. So remember guys, I only waited 10 minutes before the second coat because I see someone recommended that. And that was really bad advice because, so this is the longest duration of where it cured, and this is why it's taken longer to remove. Which in a way is good because it means it will work if we let it cure for say a few hours. But as I was in a rush, apparently, that was a very bad idea. But I was following the recommended curing times. But clearly 10 minutes is not enough. And now we know. But it's good. That's the kind of the point of these videos, so we learn from them. But I want to make sure I work quickly because I like this monitor. And I did not expect this to happen. But like I said, this is good because now we know it will cure. And it does harden pretty quick. So yeah, basically what happened was within 10 minutes, it started curing, but not fully. So I would prefer to give it like 2 hours and not pushing hard with the application because I was pushing quite hard. So yes, partly is my fault, partly it was the other recommendation, and I'm having quite a hard time actually removing this now. And you know what, I'm gonna put a mask on because this isopropyl alcohol is getting to me. Okay, let's try again. And this time I'm gonna keep the quick headlight clear coat wipe because now I'm pretty much only got just 2. So I'm gonna want to utilize it as many times as possible. And I'm gonna bring a Ziploc bag and put it into that after I'm done using with the first coat. So let's just put my gloves back on. Because I had a pack of 4, but I clearly messed up, didn't I? So let's try again. But that is a very important mistake now we know not to make. I want to get that into the crevice as well, of course. I'm going to go back over it actually. So I want to make sure I go over the edge nicely. What is that? What are those streaks? Maybe I'm squeezing too hard. So I'm going to do it very lightly until I see those lines almost disappear. And I'm going to overlap by like half with quick wipes. Because I think this cures pretty quick, but not fully, within 10 minutes. So now I'm going to have a look and do the areas that I'm not happy with again. Don't know if that's a good idea, but this is what I'm doing. So I'm going to do it slowly. It's smearing again. I think you can't do 2 passes, just 1 pass and then leave it. It's smearing already. That cures quickly. It's curing already. I can't do this. My God. So I think what I've learned is that speed is essential. A brand new pack is essential. Do not waste your time folding these strips because the liquid will just soak through anyway, I believe. You waste too much time folding it and you are going to get smears because that starts to cure very, very quickly. Although it doesn't take 10 minutes to cure fully, it starts curing from the time you actually start putting it down. So if you need to top up an area, don't do it. You can top up an area after it fully cures after an hour or two. So what I'm gonna do is basically I used up 4 wipes for basically just 1 coat. And I'm gonna leave this to harden for say 2 hours. And I'm gonna have to purchase a few more wipes because yeah, there's no way I'm gonna do another coat with a used wipe. It's just too risky. And obviously we can see a lot and lots of streaking at the moment. Hopefully they will cure together. But yeah, just to make sure that I'm clear, if you make a mistake and you need to go over a bit, do not. Wait until the next coat and then you can fix the mistake by going over it the second coat, not the first coat. I feel that as I'm further progressing, I'm actually getting rid of the streaks because I'm literally not waiting at all. So I'm not giving it any seconds to cure at all. And I think that's actually getting rid of the streaks because if we wait even like 10 or 20 seconds, the first layer or first stroke will have started to cure. And the next stroke, even if you overlap it, you might actually make it visible. So by not waiting, just going straight away, actually gets rid of all the streaks. I can still see them minor, but they're nowhere near as apparent as they were initially. The only thing that is bothering me is the size actually here. Okay, so although we're clearing up all the streaks, we got a new one here, but hopefully we can get that out the next coat. So this is the 4th coat. I think I'll do like 6 coats in total, 6 different pads. Also, you can actually see that we've got some specks of dust landed. Do not touch it. Let it cure for a good 3 to 4 hours per layer, and then we can wipe it down. Don't worry about the dust. But it's looking so much better than the first coat. So I think I've made a bit of a mistake because I chose to do this 5th layer here And that was because I didn't actually see where the reflections or where my layers were going. So I need light. So if you're going to do it somewhere more comfortable, make sure you have light. You need to see where the layers are going down. And I'm going to use a fresh new microfiber cloth because I think the kitchen roll was actually attracting dust rather than removing it. And I'm going to place the microfiber cloth somewhere where there isn't any dust. This will be the final layer for this monitor. Then I'll do another monitor with everything that I've learned. That smear does not look good, but I'm not going to go over it. I would rather use another cloth, another wet wipe after this if this doesn't merge. So like I said, this was the 6th layer and I wanted it to be the final. However, look at what I've done. So we've got a streak there, but like I said, I am not going over it. It's better to wait 2 hours and do another coat. But within those 2 hours, they might merge those layers because this is a form of liquid, remember, that we're putting down. So let's see how it handles it in a few hours. Don't judge it just yet. If you do have a hair that landed, you can try pick it off with a tweezer. But other than that, I am not gonna go back because you saw, like the first 4 tries that I tried, it was just having a nightmare. But now we've got 6 coats and I'm pretty happy with this besides this. If it doesn't merge, we're going to do another coat, which is fine because another coat actually is going to be fine. I just don't know how I fucked up. Maybe it's because 2 hours wasn't enough. I need to wait 3 hours per coat. So although I've done a mistake with layer 6, I applied layer 7 already. I know I didn't film it, but that is because I'm in a different environment and I just wanted to get it done. So basically, the thing that I done wrong is I only waited 2 hours and it gave me a streak in around this corner, which is now covered up completely because, I know you can see it slightly there still. And that was due to me only waiting 2 hours. So now I'm actually going to wait 3 hours for every single layer. This is as good as it's gonna get, this one. This is like a secondary monitor, so this is meant for the studio. But I learned a lot from this. So first of all, you need to be in a very, very dust-free area. So I'm actually gonna do it in my downstairs neighbor's. He's a very good guy, he lets me use this place. So because this place is dust-free, you really need to be in a dust-free environment for this. And I'm also gonna have a microfiber lint-free cloth, because that's gonna attract the dust and we want to collect all the dust before we use the wipe. We also need to make sure we're in a very lit area. Now this area isn't very lit, but I'm gonna have a light shining down towards the monitor to see where I'm actually wiping. And of course working fast. You cannot take time with this. You need to work fast and you need to make sure each layer overlaps the previous. If you don't, you're gonna have streaks. Okay, so we are ready for a side-by-side comparison. Now granted, it's not gonna be a 100% accurate comparison because one monitor is I think 42 inches, the other one is I think 35 or 38. I think this one's 38 and this one's 42 or something like that, and the resolution is different. This is 5120 by 2160 and this is I think 1440p, so the resolution is very different. So this can't be as sharp as that. Obviously this is glossy as fuck now, it's like reflective, but does that actually improve the sharpness, the clarity, the blacks, and did this actually achieve what I claimed it will do? Basically by filling in all the gaps that the matte layer has created, will it actually make things more vibrant, sharper, etc., all the things I said, all that jazz. Okay, the LEDs turn on, so that's a start. The screen is on. Now we need the cable. Yeah, I don't care what you say, that looks amazing. And all the streaks that we may have endured. Remember, this is like a test monitor. And I'm gonna actually use this whilst I do this one. Okay, so let's be honest. So we have the same image on two different monitors. This is the glossy monitor that we did, seven coats. This is matte standard. And to be honest, when it's on a picture, it's hard to see much difference, because I think it's because the resolution is so low, so much low. It's like half the resolution. What was it? 3440 by something compared to 5120. So it's hard to make an accurate and realistic comparison by this. But I am going to be using this as a main, and I am going to do the gloss on this because first of all, I don't see any downsides. I think this is a benefit. But do we see an improvement? The blacks, I'm not sure if I see the blacks blacker or anything sharper. Is gonna be, I think I do. But is it a placebo effect? It's very hard to tell if it's placebo, if it's real. I like it, but I think the best thing to do is look at the text. I did see some other guys running some scientific actual tests, which I was already convinced that the matte coating makes things more diffused, but I'm not 100% sure if filling in the matte coating on top actually does the same effect as removing the matte coating, which we can't do because the matte coating has of course been sprayed on rather than a layer of it being put on. And I mean, obviously it's very clear how they look like with the images off, but I think I'm just gonna have to experience the monitor and see how I feel about it, see if it's an improvement in reality, because for all we know, this could be a placebo effect that we're enjoying it more. Well, I am, but to be honest, I'm pretty sure many other people will as well, because I see many people complaining about the matte screens. Okay, so it's actually time to do my good monitor, and the way I will do it is from everything that I've learned from doing the first monitor, and that is starting with working with speed and not quickly at the same time, if that makes sense. So first of all, we're going to do one layer with the same 3M wipes. This, do quickly, but then we're gonna wait at least 3 hours. And I'm doing it in a dust-free environment, in another room actually, because unfortunately my room has dust and a cat, which I just shaved. But yeah, let's remove all the dirt first with isopropyl alcohol, clean isopropyl alcohol. Make sure it's crystal clear before we actually apply it. And I'm also working in a brightly lit environment with a light so that I can see where my layers are being laid down. I'm just looking for any dirt that may have accumulated from my usage, because remember, this is not exactly a new monitor. This is after a good few years of use now. Oh, what the hell, bro, man? What the fuck happened here, man? Completely ruined it. So we have 3 monitors here all side by side, and this is the one, the center one is the one where we peeled off the matte coating. The left one is where we applied the quick headlights polyurethane coating the first time, and the second one is this one. So actually looking at it side by side, this one has a lot of streaks. This one almost doesn't, except the one where we messed up at the very beginning, which is quite hard to see, to be honest, by camera. I can see it by my eyes, but I'm pretty sure that I won't be able to see them when the monitor is on and on the wall. We can only really see any imperfections when we look at it directly, just like as a pure black screen. If we like try to look at it close up, let's see. Yeah, you can see them now. But this is just because we are picking for the imperfections. I guarantee you they will be very hard to see. Let me see if I can just focus it correctly. It's really hard to see them. And yeah, so after I've been using this for quite a few days now, because this is the first monitor that I've done with the quick headlight wipes, and I've been loving this. So although the blacks aren't as nice as they would be on this one with the matte coating peeled off, it's still much better than this was originally, and I'm very, very sure that it's not just a placebo effect. It's actually more pleasurable, if that's the right wording. And we finally have the definitive comparison, which is the matte coating removed, completely peeled off, compared to the quick headlights 3M polyurethane coating. So this is a very brutal comparison in a way, because this has had a layer removed, this has had a layer applied. So it's quite a drastic difference. So this one wins hands down, in my opinion. For clarity, I think it's much sharper. It could be a placebo effect. This is very subjective, unless you look at the microscopic zoom-ins of each pixel. But I'm not gonna go scientific method, because I don't care to that extent, because I care about how I perceive things, I believe. I don't need scientific evidence, because I've already seen scientific evidence, and I know that basically the matte coating is terrible. But what can we do? I mean, for the Ultrawides, the LGs that have the matte coating sprayed on, we can't exactly peel it off because it's sprayed on, unless we actually sand it down. But if we're going to sand it down, we're probably going to screw up the display and got to break it, like I did with the other display. But that was through the buffing method. In my opinion, the blacks are much deeper than on the LG Ultrawide, which we applied the coating on. And this finish is much more seamless. We can kind of see some streaks. Can I show you? It's very hard to actually show through the camera. I can slightly see them with my eyes. I don't think I can see them with the camera. But yeah, I'm holding this in a sketchy way, because otherwise this will fall off, because this has not got a stand. This actually is slightly faulty on it. So actually in the top left, we have a dark spot. The backlight doesn't work here, so it is a bit of a faulty monitor. Actually, before we apply static images, let's turn off the ceiling lighting, so we can actually get rid of the reflections. And obviously you can see that the blacks are much darker on here than compared to here. I still think this is a major improvement than how it was, but still, peeling off the layer it just doesn't compare. And turn off all the lights. There's a bit of a blue haze through the camera, which I can't see in person, but the blacks are much blacker on the peeled off coating, which is funny and kind of ironic, because this is the cheap monitor. And looking at an image, how do I feel? This is more blue, this is more green. It's very, very minor differences, and especially when you view in an image. I think the best way to tell the difference is through text, not through images. Also, I just saw this in settings, black stabilizer. If we actually pull that down, the blacks become much blacker. I never saw this before. So let's have a look at it side by side. Which one do we prefer and why? So this is just some G-code for my 3D printing. And can we see a difference? Let's try to be critical. It's very difficult to tell, to be honest. All I'm going to say is that I'm happier than how this ultrawide was, because I don't plan on using this monitor. I plan on actually getting rid of this because this is a bit faulty, and the ultrawide is where I'm at with the 5120 by 2160 resolution, 72 refresh rate, and 42 inches in size. So I'm pretty happy with that. Well, I'm going to upgrade to the OLED that LG just released, but guess what, that is got a matte coating as well, so no win with that either. So I'm probably going to have to do the same kind of application for that monitor as well. So yeah, actually with that black stabilizer off, the game looks actually insane now. So this is a Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Looks amazing, but I don't know why on the camera I get that kind of bluish haze, which I can't see with my eyes. Quite annoying. So I'm just seeing how it is using it in the daylight, and it is freaking beautiful. So I'm very happy with the change. So this is a matte monitor, and this is a glot. So this is both by LG. This is LG Dual Lab. This is LG Ultrawide. This is the 42 version Ultrawide 5K resolution. So they're almost identical, but since they're made by the same manufacturer, disabling the black stabilizer makes the blacks much nicer actually. Also, the area where I fucked up is pretty much invisible, to be honest. So where is it? So on a white display, I don't think it's actually visible at all. And let's change it to black. There. It's quite hard to see. So you can only really find it if you look for it. So yeah, it doesn't really matter if you make a mistake like that on the first layers. You'll be like distraught, but then you'll realize once you actually finish it that you can't even see it really.